Welcome to the first lesson on using Spiffio as a translation portal. We're going to go over the steps to set up your instance. So the first step is going to be create your manager accounts. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and create a new user. Put in some pretend email address and go ahead and type in your username. A new example user has been created, and we're going to go ahead and assign them the admin role because they are a translation manager, and that will give them access to everything in the system. Translation managers can create new documents that they can assign to translators to review automatic translation of. All right, let's do the next step, which is going to be adding the languages that you want to enable. And this includes both the source language as well as the target language. So let's go ahead and do that. So what we're going to do here is go to the settings, click on channels, and over here you can see some languages have already been enabled. I'm going to go to the presets, and all we got to do is click on the language that we want to add. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and enable Portuguese. You can also search for languages that you can't type, like let's say Arabic, and it'll filter it for you. You can clear that to be able to see all the list of languages again. So we just added Portuguese as another option that we can now translate into. All right, let's go back again and see we want to now add the translator accounts. Let's go ahead and now add our translators. So I'm going to go ahead and create an account here. Let's just call it example 2. We've created a user, and over here I'm going to just give them the translator role. That's it. Now you've added a translator. Let's go back one more time and see the final step of this lesson. It's to create a playlist to oversee the work. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go back here to Resources, click Playlists, create a playlist. So we're going to give it a name. And we're going to pick the languages that we're trying to translate this document into. Let's say Indonesian and Spanish for this example. And now here, you're going to basically create an entry for every document that you want to have translated and overseen through this process. So I'll just call it document 1 here. If you have a very long document, we recommend that you break it up into multiple parts. And so we can have document 2, part 1. All right, and I click on an entry now, and I can go to the Docs tab, and I'll go ahead and pick an example document. So you can see here that I'm going to assign a document, and let's take this Pentecost sermon that was written. It automatically assigns the translation to the Indonesian side, and you can see here that it's aligned, and aligned means that there's an equal number of lines in the source as there are in the translation. What's going to happen is as the translator makes progress, this is going to become reviewed, and you can see the progress bar. So as an example, I'm just going to go ahead and show this to you. There's another lesson right after this one that's about what the translator actually has to do. But just for the purpose of showing you that progress bar, I'm going to go into this document, and let's go ahead and view the Indonesian translation. And I'm going to mark it as that it's, let's say, the translator has reviewed all the way up to line 43, as an example. Now, when I go back to my playlist, you're going to be able to see that this is 15% reviewed. Great. And what happens when this is fully reviewed? Let's go ahead and go to that document one more time. I'm going to mark that all lines have been reviewed. Save that. Close this. Refresh. This is what it looks like when all lines have been reviewed. You can see that it's green, checked off. This means that I'm ready to go ahead and export this and use it for whatever I need to. So you've seen now the initial setup of your Spiffio instance to use it as a translation portal. We've created your manager accounts. You've enabled the languages that you want to translate into. You've added accounts for your translators, and you've created a playlist to oversee the work of translation. In the next lesson, we're going to dive deeper into what the translation manager needs to do.